Morning, welcome to the next podcast of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. Not been an overly busy week this week. Posted only not once this week, which is quite a significant little photograph turned up. So I'll show you that in a bit. Another dismal week for England at the World Cup, unfortunately. But they seem to be doing quite well this morning against India. But touch wood, you never know. India might completely implode. Anyway, on to yesterday. There was a meeting at Derby for the Cricket Memorabilia Society. Kim Barnett, the ex-Derby and England player, and Enid Bakewell were guests, and apparently went very well. So the next one is mid-November, I think, at Lord's, which is one I normally go to, which is just up the road, really. So I should go to that one. I think Alan Wells is the speaker that day, and someone else. I'm not quite sure who that is. Hopefully Clive Lloyd might turn up again. Always nice to meet Clive. But just a nice little nudge there for you to join the Cricket Memorabilia Society. It's easily online. It's only £20, £22 I think for a year, 24 for a family. So it's a good idea to get involved with the Cricket Memorabilia Society. There was an auction there yesterday as well with some lovely stuff in it. Not quite sure how successful it was yet, but wait for the results. So nice society to be involved with, the Cricket Memorabilia Society. So just going back to last week's post, or might have been the week before, about the 1892 Lord Hawke tour to India. Clive sent me a photograph of an old Wisden Cricket Monthly, which I actually had in I've still got them all in the shed, and there's a nice photograph there of the side there with Lord Hawke and what have you. So that's quite an interesting read, the first All India side they played. So it makes, I was just trying to identify the players in it, so it makes it a little bit easier to do, but it's still quite a difficult task, but we'll get there in the end. So it's quite an interesting thing there. The old Wisden Cricket Monthlies, plenty of history and stuff in there, and also cricket memorabilia that was publicised by David Frith in those days. Great magazine, unfortunately defunct now. But anyway, there we are. So that's a nice one. So anyway, just on to the thing that arrived this week was this lovely photograph of Don Bradman and Alf Stevens. It's got Alf Stevens on the back there, and it's got Bowral, New South Wales. It looks about 1930. So very pleased to have that in there. So just set me off on Alf Stevens. This photograph actually published in the book Andy sent over to me. What was it called? Bradman, the Illustrated History, or biography, should I say? And this photograph is actually in that book, so it's obviously come from there because this is an original photograph. So whoever used it for that book was had this in their possession at the time. So I've got to get hold of Mike Down and try and undo that, try and find out where it's coming from. So that got me onto a few other bits and pieces on Don Bradman. I'll just go into this one here, the Bradman albums. This one's by MacDonald and Queen Anne Press. And Alf Stevens, obviously a mentor of Bradman, and he went on tour with him a few times as well and watched him play. But there's Alf there, Stevens in his back garden where Bradman used to play, practice. And he was a bit of a mentor, so and captain of Bowral. And he was also, Alf Stevens was also mayor of Bowral, as was his father. His father was mayor in, let's have a look. His father was mayor in 1900, and Alf Stevens was mayor in 1928-29. So quite a significant figure of Bowral, Alf Stevens, and obviously a significant figure in Bradman's life. So anyway, that just got me onto a few bits that I've got on Don Bradman that I may not have shown before, but I probably have. I'm just going to show this BDV cigarette card, which actually set me off on my cricketing collecting world. And this week in Bangladeshi paper, Zunaid Paker, he's doing a series on collectors for the World Cup, and this week was my turn. So well, he obviously got one down from net or something, but it's quite a good interview on there. And if you want to read it, it's on just press in Andy Collier Cricket, and it will come up about the 4th or 5th down. So anyway, let's go back to what started me off on my cricketing collecting career. I'm not sure I've shown this one before, which is the lovely Bradman there, statue of Bradman, which is quite a nice thing. That was one of the first Bradman things I got after that photograph. So nice one there, sheer cast. One of the better ones, I think, this one actually, because the longer they went on, the worse they got, the sheer cast models, but I was quite pleased with the Bradman one. So just another one here with Bradman. This is Alan Fernley, signed one here. This is just at Trent Bridge with a lovely cover drive there from Bradman. Talking to the Cricket Memorabilia Society, there's a lovely card there, unfortunately signed in horrible felt tip pen, but there's a nice cricket memorabilia postcard there of Bradman. Another one there with quite a recent one there, nice signature there of Bradman. Just a postcard there, Centurion's portfolio, a series of cards. Nice one. And then this one, quite a rare one here. Oh, this is a swap with Pete Schofield. This is 1933, September 1933, and signed by Bradman and Stan McCabe. That postcard there, so quite a rarity. A couple of letters there, look, from Bradman's 48 tour, the Invincibles, which are quite nice. He's on about a business deal there, so what that was with Messrs Weldon and Wilkinson Limited up there in Nottingham. Right, that's a nice letter there. This is another one from 48 there, nicely signed at the bottom there, thanking him for a little kind little present. So he obviously received a few bits and pieces while he was on tour. And a couple of other photographs here that are reasonably rare. This one here is the 1932 Australians to USA and Canada. Arthur Maley and Vic Richardson, etc. Alan Kippax is Bradman down there. A few unknowns on there, which I've written down on the back here, so that's quite a nice one. I think Pete Schofield's doing another book on, or his new book's going to be on that tour to America. And there's another one here. This is a very early one here of New South Wales, 1930-31, Archie Jackson 2 there, Alan Kippax, Alan Fairfax, all down the bottom there. So quite a nice Stan McCabe up the back. So some nice early photograph there of Bradman. So anyway, that's about it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed this little presentation on the Bradman stuff, and hopefully you can enjoy this week's collecting. Cheers then, all the best.